So, hi, Will Noise Podcast. I'm Shane,
I'm Glory.
and we're here with.
I'm Jack. What's up?
I'm Alex.
I'm Ben, and we're from Acres.
There were some questions to say about the upcoming album, The Host. So, congrats on that, by the way. How do you guys feel about the response to the announcement so far?
It's been cool. It's been really cool. It's been nice to come back with something which is different and see people really kind of resonating with it. So, yeah, it's been cool.
Hell yeah. The album fucking rips. It's so good.
Yes, it's immaculate, genuinely.
Thank you,
Shit
guys.
fucks.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm curious, can we get like a rough time frame of when you guys kind of started writing the record, when you started working on it, and when you had the masters in hand? Because I know I've been seeing the touring. You guys have been busy.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, we went to Detroit in October last year with Landon. All of us went, and yeah, we spent like a month at his crib just like writing. And to be honest, we went out with like nothing. It was wild. We've never done an album like that. I think we had like two demos, something like that,
Yeah.
with like, just instrumentals. So yeah, we just went out with absolutely nothing, and we were just like, let's fucking see what we do.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there was a moment where we thought we should probably start writing, and we rented an Airbnb, and we wrote like 2-3 demos that we thought we'd never use, and I think one of them ended up being a song, but only like a part of it. But shortly before we were like ready to fly out, Landon pretty much hit us up and was like, "Yo, don't write anything. I want it to just be like as collaborative and like spontaneous as possible." So it was really daunting at first, but once we got there and started, it was probably my favorite writing experience I've ever had.
It's fucking awesome.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. So, is there any meaning behind the album title or cover art?
So I think the host, we kind of me and Ben would pick apart songs. So like any song that kind of jumped out to us instrumentally that Freeman or Ash would send to us, me and Ben would stay back at the Airbnb and kind of write lyrics to the songs that kind of jumped out to us the most. And I always had this idea of I'm a big fan of like concept albums, always have been. They kind of always speak to me for some other reason. I think they're like dramatic and fun. Not that this is a concept album at all, but I always like it when albums have like an intertwining meaning throughout. It kind of, for me as a
Absolutely.
listener, helps me like stick to a record and kind of understand it rather than it just be random songs.
Mhm.
And I got sent the instrumental to Bloodlust, and instantly I had like all these ideas about like I knew how I wanted it to sound straight away, how I wanted the melody to sound. I had lyric ideas, and I started diving into this sort of story of this thing that can either be perceived as like addiction or something that's bad for you or a mental health problem or condition, and in a struggle that kind of sticks to you and you know it's really bad for you but you can't live without it. And I like that kind of, I like that story, and I like that kind of message for the song. And the way Bloodlust kind of goes, it felt like an intro to a record, and I was like, oh, this would be a really cool theme to kind of explore throughout the rest of the songs if we can. And there was a line in it about the host, and it just stuck out to me. And I said to Ben one evening, like, that'd be a really cool album name and a cool thing to explore for the rest of the record. And artwork wise, trying to like metaphorically explain that with like a building and something going into it in the distance is was something me and Jamie spoke about, who directed the videos, to try and tie it all together visually in a kind of fun, dramatic way. And I think he really pulled it off. I'm really happy with it.
Yeah, the artwork was awesome. It like looking at the artwork while listening to the music invoked like that dramatic feeling, like, and it
Yeah.
perfectly executed for sure.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm stoked on it.
Hell yeah. So can you guys tell us a little bit about your writing process for the album?
So we collectively were there for like a month,
Mhm.
but me and Ash, the other guitarist, were only there for 2 weeks.
Mm.
So we just ended up going to Landon's house every day for 2 weeks. I think we had one day off, and we just wrote and wrote and wrote. I think there was maybe like 1 or 2 days where we didn't have anything, and it felt horrible because we'd been so productive. But yeah, I think we ended up doing about 14 songs in 2 weeks, which was like crazy. Like
Yeah.
I've never written that much ever in my life in such a short period of time, but it just felt like we were striking gold every single time. And I think having Landon there as like a hype man and having his like input, and even when you think an idea sucks, he's like, no, 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 this is great if we use it this way. Or
Yeah.
yeah, and it was like everyone always says that like an idea isn't a bad idea, but also working with Landon, sometimes you find out that your ideas are fucking shit.
He'll tell you.
laugh at you. And he'll ridicule you, but in like the best way ever, because you just want to like you want to get back at him and be like, all right, fuck you, I'm gonna write something way cooler right now. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it was honestly super fun. And like sometimes the guys would stay back and we'd be there and we'd be like, oh, I can't wait to show them this because they're either going to love it or hate it, because we were just like throwing everything at it. Like, I think it's such a varied album and there's so many different things happening and there's so many things that Acres wouldn't have done without Landon, but there's also stuff that's kind of like a throwback. So it was just, yeah, it was just a very, very, very fun experience and one that I definitely want to do again, because I think just like writing the music and being so present and just thinking like it has to be good, because it's not like I can come back in a month and change anything or make it better or stew on it. It just has to be done. So I think the pressure was definitely worth it. And I think that without that and without like having to perform and having to like make the best thing we could have possibly done at that moment, I think it turned out amazingly, and it's probably my favorite piece of music that Acres has ever written.
That's
so good.
That's so awesome to hear, because at the beginning of the interview, it kind of sounded like you guys were like, yeah, we unfortunately had to write the entire thing in a month. So it's awesome to hear that you're like, no, we want to be in the pressure cooker situation again.
I think initially it was like terrifying. I remember like on the plane over just being like, we're going to come back with like a song. I know we're going to spend a month just, legit. I was like, we're absolutely fucked. There was no way I thought we'd have an album. But the instantness of it and not having to like sit on a song and overcook it and just being like, that's the song, let's move on, was so cool. It was a completely different way to the way I've ever wrote like songs or records, and same for the rest of the boys. It was really fresh and kind of like having to play off those nerves, because Landon's a psychopath. Like he's good at everything that he touches, and trying to just like go to his level and do something as good as him was like a challenge, but a fun one. And it was that like kind of nervous energy that I think really got us through and made us like perform to our best, for sure.
There was sorry, there was parts where it felt like you had a gun to your head, where he was just like, try and write something like this, and you were just like, then you'd like just drop the first thing that came to your mind and he would laugh in your face if it was terrible. So like it was like he kind of like, you just wanted to do the best thing possible right then, because to avoid the ridicule. But the workplace bullying was unhinged. If his studio had a HR department, I'd have been visiting it like daily. Because
hours.
We obviously everyone we speak to that works with Landon always speaks very highly of him, but we never truly get an insight into like the nitty-gritty of working with him. So it's so fascinating to hear about like he'll just push you, he'll laugh in your face and push you to make it even better, which is like exactly what a producer should do.
He's also like just crazy open, like Freeman said, like there's no like bad idea, even if it does suck, like he will fully indulge it and go over it and let you explore it. He's not that kind of person that's going to sit there and be like, nope, we're not doing that, we're doing this. Like he's super open-minded, and it's probably the first producer I've ever worked with that's kind of let you explore your own ideas and not try and guide you down a path they think you should go down. So that was really cool.
It's awesome. Hell yeah.
Yeah. No, he was great. We like after we got on straight away, and it was just like writing and making music with a dude that we had known for years. That's how it ended up. And I mean, he just wanted the best for the record. He wanted to make the best possible record. It was just like he was so behind it and so passionate about it that just the whole experience with him was really cool.
That's awesome. Hell yeah.
And moving forward, now having that experience with him, are there any insights or tools or anything that you learned in that moment that you're going to be moving forward with?
That we suck.
I mean, just seeing how he
that we're
Just seeing how
terrible
he does
musicians.
shit. Yeah, he's just unhinged when it comes to just picking up a guitar and just doing cool shit, which is great.
Or just demoing. Like I learned loads. I'm not a music producer at all, but we all have like little DIY setups at home, and just watching him work and the way he uses a guitar, and like he's quite like DIY with his plugins as well, and he'll just like do shit even if it's not like technically correct. As long as it sounds cool, that's fine by him. And it was nice to see someone do that and be like, oh, you can just like fuck around and find out rather than have like a process.
Yeah. Damn straight.
Yeah,
Hell
I think every day someone said just trust the process, because there'd be points where we'd all be sat there in silence while Landon's like crafting something, and we'll just be like, what is happening? Like samples and noises, and then he'll be like doing weird like pick scrapes on the guitar, and I'm like, he's lost his mind. And then suddenly he'll play back, like he'll put it all together and show you and be like, oh, okay, fair enough. Like,
Fuck, yeah.
what just happened?
He was cooking the whole time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Didn't even
He
know.
was.
There
Even-
was like legit a point, like I think Freeman, me, Ash, and I think even Ben and Landon, we spent like about an hour playing with a pedal that just made noise, and we were all just pressing these buttons, and it was all, if you walked in from like another room, it was just like high-pitched noises going off like an hour, all just going, yeah, that's the one, that's the one.
It
It
was
was
just
mental.
yeah. It was monkey discovers computer. Like we were all
Yeah.
just like just hitting it until it did what we wanted it to do.
It
And
was a cool pedal. It was
It was a
sick.
great pedal.
That's
we wrote.
hilarious.
I think the whole of Welcome to the Family was written after Landon got that pedal through the post.
Yeah.
He was like, right, we're going to use this today, and I was like, okay, what does it do? And he was like, I don't fucking.
He's
know.
like, new toy.
Figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we wrote Welcome to the Family like then and there, and it was insane.
That's awesome.
It was that new fucking Alpha Wolf pedal.
Yeah, the noise pedal.
Oh shit. Yeah, that shit sounds crazy. I've seen a lot of demos of it. It does make just like a lot of noise.
It's
It's awesome.
Unhinged, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's so dope. Hell yeah. So what song off the album took longest to write, and which one is each of your own personal favorite?
None of them took long to write.
Well, yeah.
I think what's Mexico called? The sad one.
Still the light.
Feel the light.
I think Still the Light took the longest, because that was like the only time where Landon had this vision, and the vision was like a samba beat, and we were like, no. And then it paid off. So like we sat on it and we kept revisiting it in the evenings. And I think we finished it one night when we all got a bit drunk, and Jack ended up having to track like the rhythmic part because none of us could do it. So we were just
No.
like we were coming back to it and revisiting it and making sure that it was what we all wanted it to be. So I think that probably took the longest, which was like 3 evenings, which is insane.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
That's
time
so
in the pressure cooker.
long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the day seemed to go on for like, in a good way, like forever there. Like we'd get there at midday, leave at like 7, but those like 7 hours seemed like 3-4 days. We're like cramming so much stuff into that time. It was sick. It was very cool. There was no point where any of us were sitting there just being like, oh, I can't wait to go home. Like I'm done with the day. Like it was nice to really utilize that time and feel like every second was useful. It was really nice.
Hell yeah.
And Landon worked very fucking hard as well. I remember
Oh, yeah.
thinking that dude has not left his chair or his computer screen for fucking like 6-7 hours, not even to get the lunch. And
Nah.
this was happening like every day, and I was like, he's crushing it, like not fucking
Mm.
stopping. This is wild.
That's badass.
He wouldn't let us use the bathroom. No, I'm joking. No, I'm joking.
That's an HR
Wouldn't let us
violation.
Yeah, he would lock us in and he'd tell us we weren't allowed to leave. We didn't eat for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, Landon.
And
Yeah.
He'd just say outside if you asked where the bathroom was.
Yeah.
Well, he
He
put
puts
you
the
guys
bucket
through
in the
hell,
corner.
but it was so
Yeah.
nice he brought you on tour afterwards. So was it
Yeah.
worth it? You know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. My favorite song is probably Built to Bleed.
Okay.
I think like
Yeah.
I think it's such a different vibe to what we've ever done before, and we just played it on the Plot tour,
Mhm.
and it's my favorite song to play live ever.
That was my favorite too.
Oh yeah,
Wait.
favorites? Ben
Yeah,
and Jack?
I really like Dose of Bleed. Like Alex said, it's super fun to play live. I also really like Around Again as one of my favorites.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's again quite different to anything we've done, and that's probably one of my favorites.
All right. Jack?
I like Welcome to the Family the most, probably. A, because of the like fond memory of the pedal and us just pressing it for an hour and then we came out with a song because it sounds mental. And again, I think it's probably the heaviest song Acres will ever write, may I say? It genuinely is like it's in a disgusting tune and it's something that I never thought we'd ever write. And I'm a sucker for like heavy, weird sounding songs. And as soon as I heard that first riff, I was like, I loved it, but at the same time, I was just like, is this like an Acres song? Can we do that? And I think we all felt the same way about it. I locked myself in my room for like an evening, wrote lyrics to it, showed them to Ben. And I was like, I think this is going to be really fun. We tracked it the day after, and it came out really cool. It's just super disgusting sounding. I love it.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
I swear we say on every album like, oh, this song we did, and it's probably the heaviest Acres ever gonna go. And then
Yeah.
the next album we just fucking do it.
Just pig squeals. The next record.
Yeah.
Sure, the next
Just
record.
deathcore, you know.
Yeah.
That'd be badass.
Next record is absolutely gonna be deathcore at this
Oh,
rate.
good.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. So how'd the track list for your album come about? Did you guys write the opener be the opener, closer be a closer, shuffle around and see what fits? What was that process like?
I mean, the opener was like when we wrote Bloodlust, Jack straight away was like, want us to be opener. And I get so OCD with shit like that. Like the whole time we were there, every time we got like a new demo in iTunes, I would be in the evenings just arranging it into an order. And I was like, does this sound cool? Does it sound good?
Dude, I'd literally hear Ben go, I'm going to sculpt. And I'd be like, what the fuck does he mean, sculpt? He'd just be sat there at his laptop, just like stacking songs. Be like, what do you think to this order? And he'd play it to me. And I'd be like, yeah, I like it. As long as
Yeah.
Bloodlust first, I don't give a fuck. And then he'd be like, I'm going to sculpt again, like the next day. And he'd be like sculpting someone else.
It's been Ben's job every single time to do track listing.
Yeah.
We've always just been like, that's Ben's job. He can
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
No one cares.
No, I
Yeah.
heard Bloodlust as an intro and that was it. I was like, whatever else, I don't give a fuck. But as long as Bloodlust is number one, it seemed to introduce the record and kind of tick off all the boxes sonically that I think the record like covers. It kind of made sense to me as an intro.
Yeah, it was pretty easy. And then the hardest bit was just the ending because most of our records, all of our records always end on like the softer song.
Yeah.
And I was just like, do I want this one to end on the softer song? But then having like Welcome to the Family into Around Again to finish the album, I was just like, that's fucked. Like, that's cool. Sorry.
Hell yeah.
And would you guys be able to tell us where your headspace is at while you're creating the record?
Yeah. I mean, I've wanted Acres to be heavier for as long as I've been in Acres and I started the band. So
Yeah.
I've there's been times where I've been like we should be a heavier band because I think like every time we write a record, it's always just been like slightly heavier. So it's just kind of been like the way we did it. But I wanted this one to be like a different type of heavy. Like we even spoke in the studio, like we're in America, we're working with an American producer. I don't want to sound like an American band. And that's no disrespect to any one of you guys. But like I just like there's something I think British metalcore just has a thing, and I really like what it's like. Loathe are incredible, Architects are incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like and I just wanted it to be like a different type of heavy, like because we're not a metalcore band in the like our track record isn't metalcore. Do you know what I mean? It's always been in like the hard rock, post-hardcore kind of world, and I just wanted to see how far we could push that sound without ending up with like Trivium riffs and do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like sweet and stuff. So yeah, I'm always flying the flag to write heavier stuff, and I think like bringing 7 strings into the equation was Ben's idea. Like I never even considered it, but he's recently been on like a a more of like a heavier metalcore vibe. And when he came to me with it, I was like, I don't know how to play them. Like I'd never even toyed with the idea. But then as soon as I got one, I was like, okay, yeah, this rocks. Like I
Yeah.
can tune really low and riffs sound way cooler.
Mhm.
And yeah, I think like it's just we always want to change. Like every time we write a record, we don't want to write the same record twice. And I think dabbling with like the heaviness in the EP was fun, and doing that like just ourselves. We didn't have Landon helped with production, as in like we self tracked everything, and he didn't really have that much of an input in the sound. But then obviously him taking what we did with the EP and helping us turn it into the record was like, yeah, beyond all of my expectations, and I'm like over the moon with it. So yeah, musically, I just always wanted to change things and give new fans something like fun to listen to. So like every album sounds different, and there's a lot of diversity. And obviously, Landon is the Plot and You are amazing at that. So I think he was like the perfect guy.
I'll hardly agree.
Damn straight.
Ben and Jack, do you guys concur with that headspace?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we definitely knew we wanted to go heavier. By the EP, you can see that we were going heavier, but like headspace wise, I was just in fucking panic mode for the whole month because I've never ever written that quick, especially like 10 songs. So I remember being on the plane and just thinking, like Jack said earlier, like, fuck, are we going to be able to do this? And Jack, for the first time in Acres, wrote lyrics, melodies, songs, which was really cool because I think without him, I would have crumbled because there was so many points I was just struggling. And the really cool thing with Jack doing stuff is he did a lot of the heavier songs. So his writing styles are completely different to mine. So it totally changed it up, which was great. And that's something I said on this album. I was so open to trying absolutely everything and just kind of seeing what we were doing. So yeah, I was panicking, but stoked we got it done. Really happy with it.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I don't like same as Freeman. Like, I don't come from the metalcore world. Like I know Ben will say like to me, "Have you heard listen to this band? Have you heard this band? We're touring with this band," and I'll just be like, "Who?" Like I just don't.
Cool.
I don't know this world, and I think that's kind of I kind of want to keep it that way. Obviously, you know, like the big bands and like the main bands or whatever, but I like that I'm a bit naive to this world because it helps me write in a way, or at least on this record, I was writing in a way which I just thought was normal. Do you know what I mean? So I wasn't thinking like, oh, I need to write like Silent Planet sound like this. So I should probably have my lyrics and my vocal placements like Silent Planet. I was just listening to a song and being like, I think it should sound like that. And Ben had a different way of writing, and I think they kind of complemented each other in a way where the record's an interesting listen. Which I think is really cool. So I'll try to listen to less metalcore as the band progress.
All right.
Less and less, yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm just gonna listen to like Beethoven or some shit. I don't know.
Just listen to pop
Hell
music.
yeah. Yeah.
Just pop music. I mean, me and Ben do listen to quite a lot of pop music. I think that's something that we do have quite like a mixed taste in music. Like we're not just listening to like metal and metalcore in the van. Like there's so much going around, which is really cool.
Yeah.
I think we're quite open-minded people.
Hell yeah, you guys bumping like Sabrina Carpenter in like the tour van?
For real.
Damn
Especially
straight.
Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that's right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you guys recommend your fans to listen to this album for the first time? Should you do in the car with friends, in dark with headphones on? Is workout album, party album? What do you guys personally recommend?
I've always said
Probably.
headphones, but I think this one is just fucking turn it up as loud as possible. Yeah, I mean, what were the other options?
In the car with friends, dark with headphones on, workout, party,
Etc.
yeah.
You know, just any
I don't know.
form of listening to music.
Yeah.
Drink White
I like
Claw.
jamming it on the whiteboard. Be sick.
What flavor
I,
White Claw?
Oh, so I had what one did we have that we don't get in England when we recorded with London? The
The
cherry
tequila
one?
ones.
Oh, the High Noons.
Yeah.
Is it High Noon?
Yeah. Yep.
Those are amazing. I like listening to the record. Me and Ben drove back to Chicago after recording, and we span it for the first time on the drive, and it was so nice to kind of reflect on the whole month, listen to what we've done, drive to the airport, and that's like a really fond memory. And I think listening to it in a car journey would be very cool. yeah, it was just a nice memory. We kind of listened to the whole record and being like, oh, we did it. We actually did something.
Yeah.
So yeah, car journey for me, I think.
Hell yeah.
Does everyone agree on that? Just
Yeah, I mean, I said loud. I like
loud.
I like that.
Okay. Okay. I
Loud.
missed that. I'm so sorry. Loud. Hell yeah. So this one should be
Yeah.
super quick. Off the top of your heads, I want you guys to describe this album for new listeners in 3 words. 3 words each, 9 total, no more, no less.
Who wants to go first?
You go first.
I just counted 3 in my head because I was like, I'm gonna say evil, sexy, dark.
Hell yeah.
Ooh, hell yeah.
I think I stole
Nice.
Ben's.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I stole Alex's.
I'm next.
Yeah, Ben gave us It's Fucking Sick.
Oh, it's fucking sick. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's so good.
I don't know. Jack texted me. Scary but fun.
There you
Hell
go.
yeah. Wonderful.
Hell yeah. And then that same train of thought, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want listeners to have while going through the album?
Uncertainty.
Yeah. Terrified. I want him to be terrified.
Goodness.
I just want it to be unpredictable. I don't want them to
Yeah.
listen to the first song and be like, oh, I know what's coming next. But I'd like to keep them guessing for sure.
For sure.
100%. So, are you guys able to touch on any particularly challenging or standout moments during the creation of this album, positive or negative?
Oh, I mean, challenging again, just a time frame and just going with nothing was
Yeah.
just. And at times, there was moments that I was quite negative because I was like, I don't know if I fucking like this. And I've always had time with writing to just kind of demo something, reflect on it, and then come back to say a day or two later and just be like, oh, this is great or this sucks. And there was none of that with this album. It just all had to be like the best we could do. So that was so challenging, as I said. And luckily Jack stepped in and did a bunch of the writing. And it's weird because when I write something, I question it a lot. And is this a good enough chorus? Even with like Burning Throne, the Hold On chorus, things like that, I almost deleted it. And I said to the guys, like, I don't like this. And everyone was just like, no, this is cool. So I questioned myself a lot. Whereas then hearing Jack's ideas and just scratching out with him, I was just like, oh, these are sick. Like, I love these. So.
It's wonderful.
And then positive, yeah, I'm very proud we got it done within that time frame.
Yeah.
Going up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I was optimistic the whole time. I don't know why. Everyone was like, oh, it's going to be fucking hard. We're not going to be able to do it. This is wild. And I was just like, it's going to be fine. Like the whole time, I was just, yeah, I don't know why. I just had like a really good feeling about it. And I think I thrive under pressure. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just something that I've always enjoyed doing. Like, and then, yeah, just not having time to overthink it, get it done. And as long as like everyone was in, I was in. Do you know what I mean? So I had a great time, and I think like I was just like a cheerleader the whole time. I was like, dude, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be great. Like we've got, and when the song started coming out so quickly, we were just like, fuck, we've actually got this. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I think obviously I had nothing to do with any of the lyrics or anything. I was gone. I was there for 2 weeks. So I think Ben and Jack had like a way. They had way more on their plate than we did, like because Landon did all of the production, all of the drums. I just had to play guitar, and I didn't have to think about like the meanings behind everything and if it made sense, if my riffs rhymed. Do you know what I mean? I just had none of that. So I was absolutely. I had an incredible time, and yeah. So yeah, no negatives. No negatives.
Yeah, super full on, but great. I remember writing around again at 4 a.m. I woke up and just being like, oh, I have an idea, and then just sat on my own at 4 a.m. in this Airbnb, just kind of demoing what I could. So yeah, it was just non-stop, just writing. You would do the studio day, and then you'd come home, have dinner. Me and Jack would probably write, demo, and then we'd go to bed, start another song, and I'd be like, oh, try this song tonight. You try that one in your room, and then next day we
would like lock ourselves away most nights and come back with like either a full song idea or like there'd be days where I would spend 5-6 hours trying to think of a chorus, come up with something, go to bed, wake up and be like, this is shit. I need to start again. This is not good. Like you go to bed thinking it's so good, and then I
wish people could hear the vocal demo.
Oh, dude. Or like I would make voice notes on my phone. So I'm not that technical with like my laptop. So I'd press play on iTunes, then like hum these like vocal melodies into my phone and then play them to Ben in the morning. I'd be like, what do you think of this? And then the amount of times I would open up my phone, listen to it and be like, oh, it's not good.
That one doesn't need to be played today.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some really funny outtakes of just me and Ben trying to sing ideas and not really knowing where the melody is going. So there's just these two dudes guessing down a microphone going like, and trying to like figure out a melody. It was tragic.
That's what Landon loved when it came to like, I'm honestly so shit with harmonies. I have to like, someone has to sing them to me probably like 5-10 times for me to get it locked in, because I'll just go off. And Landon watching me try and figure out harmonies was, I think, made his day.
Oh, dude, I have a whole camera roll feed of Landon just laughing at Ben while singing, and me just videoing Landon just crying because Ben can't hit this note or like can't figure out this melody. And he found it so funny that Ben couldn't do it, and he'd make him do it again and again. I'm pretty sure it's just for his own amusement. It's sick.
That's great. And for the last couple questions, go shift completely away from music. So, if you could be one animal for the rest of your life, what animal would you be and why?
A cat. Do what you
Oh my
want.
God. Yeah.
All right.
I want to be just a loved dog that just
Yeah.
sleeps a lot. Just a loved family dog. Would be sick.
I'll be a lion because no one will fuck with me.
A lion.
Straight. Yeah.
All right.
Hell yeah. No, I
I
support
was
the
gonna say
lion.
dog, but Jack fucking took it.
You can still be a dog.
You could be a dog. What about a
I'll be a dog
mosquito?
as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh. See, now you're losing it.
Frog.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, what about a little slug?
Oh. Jesus. And if you could have lunch with any celebrity or artist, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
I'll do probably Villa Vallo because I've always wanted to meet him.
Tom DeLonge.
Yo.
Yeah, I think he's one of my favorite guitarists. He makes the most childish jokes, which I absolutely love.
Mhm.
And he knows about aliens and Bigfoot, and I need to know. So I just quiz him.
Yeah, that's a well good one.
That's fair.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Amy Winehouse. I'm on like an Amy Winehouse thing at the moment.
Ooh.
And I think she obviously went way too soon and she was extremely talented, and I'd like to just pick her brains. And she comes from a similar part of England to me, so I'd like to pick her brains and stuff and go to the local pub and just chat it out. Would be cool.
You'd absolutely get day drunk as well.
Yeah, it'd be sick.
Hell yeah.
That'd be awesome.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And I've done asking the last question. So we're placing you guys in a desert island. You can bring one movie, one album, and one person. Who and what are you guys bringing?
Oh my god.
One movie, one album, one person. I mean, I have to say my wife,
Yeah.
obviously. And then movie, I think it would probably be. Does it have to be like a movie, or can it be like a franchise?
We typically just say like a movie, but
So,
sometimes
like,
we'll
alien
make
movie.
exceptions.
I would bring Jurassic Park,
Okay.
Mm.
and I would listen to Define the Great Lion by Under Oath.
Fuck yeah.
I would take Happy Gilmore
Great movie.
and
As
my
the
record. Huh?
As the person, not the movie.
That'd be amazing. I'd take Adam Sandler.
You could. I mean, he is a
And the film would
person.
be Happy Gilmore. And the album, I'm gonna say REM's Greatest Hits because it always puts me in a good mood and I'm jamming out a bunch of them.
Nice.
I would take Amy Winehouse, Back to Black.
Okay.
I would take Amy Winehouse, the movie, and I would take Amy Winehouse, the person.
Solid.
Triple
Yeah.
threat.
Yeah. Fully
Yeah.
support.
That's
Fully
great.
Yeah.
support.
So as I said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you guys like to plug?
Please
Amy
do.
Winehouse. No.
Was that Amy Winehouse?
Yeah. You guys heard of Amy Winehouse?
Don't think I
Um,
have. Can you please enlighten me?
Check her out. She rocks.
Oh, okay,
She's
cool.
gonna be huge.
Yeah.
Next big thing.
Next big thing for sure. Just listen to the album, please. Please.
Yeah, it'd be cool if you listened to the album.
Yeah, it'd be wicked.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Sounds guys. Been Acres, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.